Hello and welcome back to the Southern Side Bowl Cooks. I'm Craig Hall and today I'm going to be making some of Jack's famous chicken and pastry. This is the best pastry you've ever tasted. And right here in front of me, I got a 6-pound chicken. You don't want no little skinny chicken. Get a big chicken. We've already cleaned it. This chicken is ready to go. We're going to be putting it in this pan completely whole, just like you see it. But before we do that, we got to get the water in there and we got to get it seasoned just like we want it. You don't want to start out with just plain water. So let's get started. We're going to fill this pot up to about 2/3 full. Then we're going to turn on the heat and add the seasonings. All right, I know you've seen this on my cooking channel before. This is Lowry seasoned salt. It's some of the best stuff you've ever had. We're going to put 3 teaspoons in here to begin with. You can see that this water has come up to almost a good simmer. That's 1, 2, 3. Now this is next. Better than bouillon. This is the best stuff in the world for chicken and pastry. We're going to start out with 4 teaspoons. You want to get all that good stuff off of your measuring spoon. Now we're going to put the lid back on and let it come to a simmer. All right, you know this is a process. We've stirred it up real good, took a taste. It's going to need a little bit more of this here magic stuff right here. Hey, this water's ready. You can see it's fixing to start boiling. We're going to put the neck in first. Next is the chicken, a whole chicken. All right, you can see this is a rolling boil. We're going to cut it down to just above a simmer. That's it right there. I'll see you in about 1 hour. Back in the kitchen now. The chicken's been boiling in this stock pot for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Like I said before, it was a 6-pound chicken. If it had been a 4-pound chicken, it probably wouldn't have took but 1 hour. You just had to do whatever works with whatever size chicken you got. So what I'm gonna do right now is take the chicken out, put it over here. Let's get going with it right now. Oh, look at that, people. Some of it's already come apart, and that's what you want. You can pull it apart just like you see me doing. What I'm gonna do now is dip out some of this broth. You want to take it out because we're not making chicken soup. We're making chicken and pastry. And if we need to, we can add some back in later.
That should do it.
There you go. Okay, the chicken is over there cooling off. And while it does, I'm gonna get the pastry strips ready. This right here, if you don't know about this, you need to know about it. And pastry strips. And if you look right here, it says flat dumplings. And right under that, it says slick pot pie. Some people call it chicken slick. Now you want it to stay frozen, but it needs to be broke apart. What I'm gonna do is break it all apart, and then I'm gonna put it right back in here, stick it back in the freezer, so that when we get ready to drop it in the pan, we don't have to do all this breaking it apart stuff. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, I got all the pastry broke apart and stuck back in the freezer. And now it's time to debone the chicken. I got this little plate here. We're gonna put the bones, the skin, and anything else that don't belong in the pastry in this little red plate. It takes a little bit of work to make this chicken and pastry, but anything that's good takes a little bit of work. So I'll see you in a few minutes after all this chicken is skinned and deboned and in the pot. Right here you can see is all the chicken, and this is the skin and the bits and pieces we're gonna save for the dogs for later. They're expecting their part. I got some plastic wrap here. This is that good press and seal stuff. I'm just gonna put it on here. And the reason you wanna do that is you don't want your chicken to dry out. You do it like that, it'll be safe right there. Won't lose any moisture. Now we're gonna move over to the pot. We're gonna put some pastry in there. It needs a little bit of salt. We're gonna start out with a level teaspoon of regular table salt. It's 1 whole stick of real butter. Don't use margarine, use butter. All right, you can see that this has come up to a rolling boil. And all you're gonna do is grab you some strips and just drop them in there. You don't wanna try to drop 10 or 15 in at a time. They'll stick together. But you do need to make it quick so they don't thaw out while they're sitting over here in the box and start sticking together. We're gonna continue adding them in until they're all in, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, you can see that this is boiling really nice. You'll want to tend to it a little bit. Just keep it moving a little bit every now and then. It keeps the pastry strips from sticking together. This pastry is ready. We're gonna start putting in the chicken. Have to be careful with this so it don't splatter on you. It won't be long now. Hey, I want you to look at that. This right here is how chicken and pastry is supposed to be. And I'm fixing to plate it up and taste some of it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna taste a lot of it. Just look at that right there. It's just a shame that you're not here to taste of it with me. Well, here we are. I got this pastry right here and it's still hot. You can see it steaming, but I can't wait no longer. So I'm gonna recap and just let you know what we did so you don't get confused. We boiled a whole chicken for 1 hour and 15 minutes. We took it out, let it cool, deboned it, and then we put the pastry strips right back in that broth, let them boil for 30 minutes, and then we put that chicken back in for the last 10 minutes. And this is what you got right here, Jack's famous chicken and pastry. So I'm gonna taste of it right now. I'm gonna tell you what, this is good. I don't even have to taste of it. I've eaten this stuff enough times to know how good it is. It's almost just like I remember it. Hey, I want you to know how good this is, but I want you to know how special it is to me. The late Jack Joyner was one of my very best friends. And I can't tell you how many times that we've had his pastry here at men's ministry and at life groups. He was always going to share the recipe with me, but he got sick before I could get together with him and me and him make it together. So his wife, and that's Lynn Joyner, has been good enough to invite me over to this nice kitchen, and we've made this together. And I've really enjoyed it. Lynn Joyner is one of our best friends now. She always has been, ever since we met her and Jack at church. You can believe that this pastry is the best you'll ever taste. If you like what we're doing here at the Southern Sideboard Cooks, subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you know every time that I put out a new video, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Hey, it takes a little bit of work to make some. That's the kind of stuff be at the very end if you watch.
Oh, yeah.